Okay. I completely forgot to plug my microphone in. Oh gosh, okay. I am so glad that we didn't have an instance like we did the last time that I forgot about my microphone and I spoke for 15 minutes before I noticed anything. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad that I get to hang out with you guys again in Zatsu format. I know I've been able to, you know, play the games and get to see you guys there, but it's different when I get to, you know, like sit down here with you guys and just relax and talk about our week, talk about our day. More relaxed setting. You guys get to see me be a little bit more, you know, interactive in this sense. Oh goodness. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a good day. Or having a nice enough day so far, at least. Excuse me. I should first apologize that I didn't start the stream sooner. I know I had it scheduled that I was going to start at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That did not happen. Because I slept in super late today. Oh my gosh. Last night was was not very good for me for a lot of different reasons. So I ended up sleeping in for a really long time last night unintentionally. So I'm still recovering a little bit from the events of last night and whatever happens whenever I wake up super late. So I promise I'm here. It's just I'm doing my best right now. Oh, but I figured I don't know how many of you guys got to see the, what was it? Earlier this week I did a Wandering Willows stream, and I was talking a little bit about the little trip that I went on, and I don't know how many of you guys actually got to see that. So I guess while I'm here I can probably recount a little bit of what I was going on about. Especially because I remember that while I was doing the Wandering Willow stream, I was pretty tired and pretty out of it, like because I was still coming back from my trip. So I was trying to recall things, and it was already kind of late at night, and I was so tired. And I'm pretty sure half of it ended up coming out like nonsense. So I don't know how much of whatever I said was actually feasible. But I figured since this is the weekly Zatsu that I can at least sit back and maybe recount a little bit of what happened while I was on my trip. Sorry, I'm still adjusting some stuff. Sidelines. Excuse me. But yeah, so the reason that I went on a trip this past, what was it, 2 weeks ago, I believe. But anyway, the reason I went on the trip was because of my best friend, and I went back to my hometown to go visit her, and we celebrated her bachelorette party, and we celebrated the wedding shower since she's getting married this upcoming month. I'm so happy for her. So I will be taking another little trip at the end of this month to attend the actual wedding. I'm still trying to figure out content for you guys to make sure that, you know, you guys have a little bit of something while I'm gone. I came up with a couple ideas and I'm trying to make sure that I'm able to execute all of them before I go, so you guys at least have a little bit of something while I'm away. But still figuring all of those things out right now. More, I guess my focus lately has more been on like actual wedding event stuff and not on streaming, which it's a good thing for me to be paying attention to my best friend's wedding more, but not as good for you guys since obviously you're here for the streams. So I'm trying to figure out a couple different things that I can post in the meantime while I'm away, so you guys aren't just, you know, left in the dark or whatever. But anyway, the little trip that I took recently was for the bachelorette party and for the wedding shower. Everything went really, really well. I was really happy to not only see my two best friends, because her fiance is also like a very, very close friend of mine, and I'm very close to him. He's a very, very wonderful friend. Not only did I get to see my two best friends and hang out with them for basically a week, but I also got to meet a lot more of like the extended family members and just like seeing some of the direct family members that I already knew a little bit. And it was just really, really lovely. Everybody was super nice to me. I had a really good time. There was only one there was only one little hitch in the whole trip, and that was just coming back after. I had a couple troubles because I use Greyhound buses to get back and forth because it's the most efficient and it's like the most cost-effective form of transportation, at least where I'm at. And since it's not too crazy far from my hometown. Like, it's not like I have to travel like across the entire country to get there, which would make more sense to take a plane. But it's like in a relatively closer proximity that, you know, taking a Greyhound bus isn't the worst option. So had some trouble with my bus coming home. Had to, you know, reschedule it and a couple other things, but made it home in one piece. Everything's fine now. It just had I had to stay an extra night with my friend, and I also ended up getting a little bit sick. I know when I had come back and I was doing the Wandering Willow stream and I was doing the Avion stream, my voice has not been at 100%. I think it's finally at least at like 90%. I can tell that it's not like 100% because I was I was singing a little bit earlier and I could tell that it was at least still a little bit off, but thankfully everything is, you know, I'm not coughing as terribly as I have been. I don't have to like rely on my medicine to feel better, at least for the cough. And, you know, things are at least okay now. And I don't feel like I'm sick anymore. But of course the voice is always the thing that takes the longest to recover whenever I do get sick. So still doing what I can to make it better. Not trying to exhaust my voice or anything in the meantime. But yeah, everything went really well on the trip. I know I touched on it a little bit while while I was playing Wandering Willows earlier this week, but I think this was my first how do I phrase this? I think this was my first big exposure to alcohol, like personally. Like, obviously I've been around alcohol before, I've been around people who have like been drinking alcohol before, but like in terms of me partaking in it, this is probably the first like large scale time. because for the bachelorette party, we had decided to get dinner and then kind of do like a little bit of bar hopping. It wasn't really they weren't really like bars in the traditional sense. It was more not just like restaurants, but there are like wineries up there, and just like it's like slightly nicer than like going like to like a bar if if that makes any sense. But we decided to like go have dinner at one restaurant and then just kind of explore and get different like cocktails and wine. So that's kind of what we did all night, and it was really fun. I'm starting to become more experienced in like what drinks and what cocktails I enjoy, which is really, really nice, and I am enjoying it a lot. I'm trying to remember all the different drinks that I had. I only had like a couple because my tolerance is still really low, and I am very much like a lightweight when it comes to alcohol. Which, don't get me wrong, I really don't mind. I really don't mind that I'm a lightweight because I don't have to spend as much money on drinks in order to get drunk. So I don't mind being a lightweight because it's cheaper for me in the long run. But the drinks that I had at the one restaurant, I had a Mai Tai, which I already knew from at least a couple different prior experiences that I do like rum, and I prefer rum cocktails because most of the time they're a lot more on the sweet side. And the flavor of rum versus other different kinds of liquor is a lot more bearable for me, and I can deal with it a lot easier. So the Mai Tai had all three different kinds of rum. It had coconut, it had light, and it had dark rum, and then it had like pineapple juice and a couple other things, and it was really, really good. I really, really liked it, and it was really delicious. And then after the restaurant, we went to the one winery, and this winery, I feel like every single winery should have this in place. They had a freaking what's the word for it? They had a slushy machine for their wines. So they would pick two different wines to make slushies out of, and you could have a wine slush. Oh my goodness, they were so good. A lot of the other women that I was with ended up getting the red wine slush, but I really wanted to try the white wine slush just to be different. And it was like an elderberry something, and it was delicious. It was so sweet. It was perfect because it was really, really warm, and having like that ice slushy drink, it was a very, very easy drink. And I should mention that, again, I'm a lightweight, but I did finish my Mai Tai at the restaurant. And the only thing that was saving me at that point was the fact that I also had food in my stomach, because I was already pretty tipsy at that point. I was already like halfway gone once we got to the winery. I could already feel that I wasn't like drunk yet, but I could definitely feel that I was on my way there. But the food at the restaurant was Asian food, and of course rice is the #1 savior in the whole wide world. So having rice in my stomach helped a lot. And mind you, also when we were at the restaurant, everybody else was also getting different kinds of cocktails and drinks, and everybody wanted me to try whatever it was that they were drinking. So not only did I have my Mai Tai, but I tried my best friend's one cocktail, and I tried this other girl's one cocktail, and it was that one cocktail that other girl had was so freaking strong. The one my best friend got was called the Juicy Pear, and that one was really good. It was really refreshing. It was sweet. It was nice. And then the one drink that the other girl got was a sour apple martini, which it sounded really good, and she got it because it sounded really good. But then when she tried it, it was a lot more on the sour side, and then like the alcohol hit after after you got the initial apple taste, then it just kind of whacked you in the face with the alcohol. That one was a little too strong for me. I tried it, I sipped it, I was like, oh, I'm okay with the sour taste. That's not what bothers me. Like, it tastes pretty good. And then I got the alcohol hit and I was just like, oh. So the alcohol in that one was a little bit too strong. The wine slush was delicious. I really, really loved the wine slush. After the wine slush, or at least like halfway through the wine slush, I was definitely already gone at that point. I could tell that I was gone. And then we ended up going to one more place after that. It was like this little, I think it was like a historic inn or something like that. And it had live music playing on like one of the balconies, and they had like the restaurant downstairs where people could mingle. I don't know if people actually stayed at the inn, but there was like a separate lobby where I think people were checking in, but I wasn't sure. But we went to that restaurant. We got like a booth in the back because we were already, they could already tell that we were that we had been like running around that whole area and drinking and having a good time. So they got us a booth in the back, and we ordered one more round of drinks. I got a dragon fruit mojito, and it was really, really good. I don't think it was my favorite drink just because I'm not used to the flavor of just plain club soda yet, so it wasn't anywhere nearly as sweet as any of the other drinks that I had had. It was a lot more on like the refreshing side, but it was still really good. I was not able to finish it. At that point, I had already had so much alcohol and food and whatever else in my system that my body said, like, if you finish this drink, you are definitely going to be sick. So I refrained from finishing the drink, but I did drink like at least a third of it. I didn't want to like completely waste it, especially because like the mom who organized everything was kind of covering everything for the night. Like, she knew that she would at least be covering for me and Journey, or me and my friend, so we didn't have to worry about paying for anything for that night. But I didn't want to just like waste a drink or not drink it even after like I ordered it, but I also didn't want to like push myself to finish drinking it if I wasn't feeling well. So I drank as much as I could without feeling like I was about to be sick. They also ordered some food while we were there because they had a lot of like really good looking food options. So I think they shared and when I say they, there was like, how many of us were there? There was me and my best friend. There was one other bridesmaid. Two of the bridesmaids were under 21, so they couldn't join us for the whole night because they were like extended family members. But they were super sweet when we were at the restaurant. They were still really fun to hang out with. But it was me, my best friend who was getting married, one of the other bridesmaids, and then her mom, the fiance's mom, and two of the other, no, Was it 2 or just 1? I think it was just 1 other family member. As you can see, I was already drinking a lot at that point, so I absolutely do. I can't even remember how many of us there were. But what's it? They had ordered a plate of like pulled pork nachos, and then somebody else ordered like truffle french fries, and me and my best friend started like picking at those a little bit, and they were really good. And then they also got what's it? I think they had carrot cake while we were there, something like that. But it was really, really good. Everything there was really, really good. The only thing that I really remember from that night was we had piled into one of the cars at the end. We got driven home, and then I did as much as I could before like taking my makeup off and throwing on pajamas and going to bed. Because we also couldn't stay up or stay out like all night long either, because the wedding shower was the next day. And we didn't want to be hungover for the shower or anything, so we had to you know, put the jets on a little bit. And then what was it? Even before we had went out, since this was my first time like really going out and really like drinking and partying and that kind of thing, my best friend had come up to me while I was doing my makeup and gave me like a water bottle and one of those like gel Aleve. I think it was Aleve. I don't remember what it was. And she said like, you have to drink all of this water and you have to take this Aleve. And I was like, what? But she was right. She's the experienced one. She set me up for success. And I did not have a hangover in the morning, so everything was good. Excuse me. But then the next day was the shower, and we got to, you know, have a bit more of a relaxed vibe. I got to meet a lot more family members, a lot more extended family members. There was also an open bar at the place that they were having the wedding shower, and I started learning how intertwined the families were with events and alcohol. But it was fine. Everybody, you know, like behaved themselves and they knew how to like handle their alcohol, so I didn't have to worry in that department. I got myself, I think, like 1 drink that day. I absolutely did not want to didn't want a repeat of what happened the night before in front of so many other family members, so I took it a little easy and I just had 1 drink. But it was really lovely, you know, like meeting all the different family members and then helping out with some of the shower activities. Like, I guess people have started doing wedding showers as opposed to having all of the gifts at the wedding like reception, just because it's a little easier to manage and you kind of get like a little breather from having to worry about doing everything on the day of the wedding. You get to intermingle with more of the soon-to-be family members, in-laws, stuff like that. And it's just a bit more of a relaxed setting before the wedding, so you don't have to push everything on the day of. So it was really, really lovely. And while my best friends were busy opening all of their presents, they pulled a couple chairs over so that we could sit in front of where everybody else was sitting, and they opened the presents. They also pulled a chair over for me, and I had a little notebook and I was writing down like which family members brought what and that kind of thing. and it was just really nice, just getting to hang out and meet other family members, and like, I will say it did feel at least a little bit strange just because like I'm the best friend in the situation. I'm not like in any way, shape, or form related. I'm not a cousin. I'm not in any way like related to either the bride or the groom, but they're both like very important people in my life, and they wanted to, still treat me as such. And I know her mom always makes jokes about how like I'm the sister that she never got to have because she has a bunch of brothers but she doesn't have any sisters. But I don't know, like whenever she had like those kind of events going on in her life, like I would always just end up coming along and being one of the other people, I guess. I do really appreciate her, and we always make jokes in my family too that she's just another family member, and that we love her and care for her just as much as any other family member, because we do. And her fiance, like we're all just so close, and like we've known each other for so many years at this point that like it's just that's just what's natural for us. But it did feel at least a little bit strange while I was there and I was still like meeting all the different family members and whatnot. Excuse me. It was really nice to be back in my hometown, I will say. I did miss all of the beautiful, beautiful views and everything that was there. Actually, give me a second. I want to see if I can potentially share one of the pictures that I took. Because I did take a fair amount of pictures while I was out, but I can't unfortunately share a lot of them since they directly have me or my friend or whatever else in the pictures. But I do want to show at least one of the pictures that I got, because for some reason, and I don't know if this is just because I'm so freaking spoiled, but the sunrises and the sunsets in that area are just so much more stunning than like any other place that I've been to. And I don't know why. Like there's something about it that is just always so beautiful and always takes my breath away that I haven't experienced anywhere else that I've been. It's just so beautiful. Oh, I have a couple pictures of some of the drinks that I had. I did not take a picture of all of them, but here, let me see what I can do. I'm finagling because they're on my phone and I have to figure out how I can show them here. I know how I can, whether or not I'll actually like be able to is a different story. If not, it's okay. It's not the end of the world if you guys don't get to see them, but I would like to be able to share them with you guys because I think it would be really nice. Excuse me. I might not be able to. That's okay. But we're gonna try anyway. Oh, also, when I was on my trip, I did get to I did get to see one of my family members, since it was mostly just my direct family members that moved to the area that we're in right now, but I know I have at least a handful of family members that still live back like in my hometown area. So I got to see one of my family members, the one that I'm closest to extended family wise. No, I don't think I'll be able to show you guys the pictures. Sorry. My computer just doesn't want to cooperate, but it's okay. But yeah, I got to see at least one of my extended family members, and it was really, really lovely. I missed her a lot. It was really nice seeing her. And I got to introduce her to my best friends, and they were very excited to meet her because they knew how important she was in my life, or that she is in my life, and you know, it was just really, really nice. I apologize if I'm like spacing out a little bit because I am still pretty tired, and I haven't it's one of those situations where like if you sleep too long, you get really tired or you end up spacing out a lot. So I'm still pretty out of it. I think I do want to touch a little bit on some of what happened yesterday, if not for like I'm not gonna like get too in detail with it for, you know, for personal reasons, but if not for anything else, I guess just for heeding a word of warning. But yesterday was not really the greatest day in the world. I had met up with someone who I was supposed to go out on a date with. It didn't really turn out that way in the end, and it was like just not a very good situation in general. I was talking to one of my friends about this before stream, just kind of venting about it because it was a little, I don't know. It was just not a very, very good night. But it ended up with me just kind of leaving the situation. I called my brother and I just said like, "Hey, I'm not very like comfortable. Is it okay if you come pick me up?" And of course, like, he knew that I was out on a like what was supposed to be a date, and he immediately went like, "Yes, of course, where are you? I'll come get you," like as like a no questions asked kind of thing. And I guess I just want to like let you guys know that like if you're ever in a situation where you are not comfortable for any reason whatsoever, like if the person is not making you comfortable, if the environment is not comfortable to you in any certain way, like any reason that you may end up feeling uncomfortable, you can just leave. I know at first it took me a minute to try and figure out the how, the how of leaving, but once you figure it out and you know that you will be able to execute it, and it's okay if you need to make like an excuse or whatever, because in that moment the most important thing is just making sure that you will be okay and be able to get home in one piece and everything will be okay. So like if you need to like make up something for whatever reason just to get out of a situation, that's okay, because you need to make sure that you're okay before anything else, before worrying about like another person's feelings or attitude towards you. for, you know, something that you didn't do and that you had no part of. Like, you need to put yourself first. You can worry about repairing feelings or trying to resolve a situation later. If you're uncomfortable and you don't want to be in that environment or with that person for whatever reason, you can just leave. So I ended up calling my family, and then they came and they got me. So I was okay, and I got home okay. I mean, I'm also lucky that I have family who, you know, care enough about me that if I were in a situation like that, that they are able to and that they don't mind doing it. I know not everybody is in like a stable enough home situation to be able to do that kind of thing, but even just excusing yourself from the situation and then using some sort of third party, like if you have to take like an Uber or a Lyft home, or like a taxi, or like whatever public transportation you have available, the bus, the train, whatever it might be, just to be able to like distance yourself, get out of the situation, separate yourself from whatever it might be, and then like getting home afterwards. Like that's really, really important. Because I don't want any of you guys to ever get stuck in a situation where, like, you're fearful, you're scared, you're intimidated, you're uncomfortable, like, whatever it might be, because none of those situations are good. So I hope that you guys are able to, and you have enough like support around you from either your family or other people in your life who care about you, who are, you know, within your proximity, that you would have somebody who would be able to do those kind of things for you. But if not, then third party options are also like viable. You can also just take the bus, take the train, whatever it might be, to be able to, you know, leave a situation. I just don't want people to feel like they need to stay because they feel like obligated by social rules or whatever it might be. Like, you agreed to do this thing but it's not turning out right, but you already agreed to it. Like, no, if you don't feel right, if something is not right and you don't feel right about the situation, you can just leave. Like, under any circumstance. You like, nobody is ever going to force you to like stay in a situation like that. Especially if it is something that's extremely optional, like going on a date with somebody. Like, no obligation at all to ever stay if it's making you uncomfortable. Absolutely none. So I just hope that, you know, you guys know that you have, you know, no obligation to ever do anything that you don't want to do, at least in those kind of terms. I might end up wrapping the stream a little bit early, just since it doesn't seem like anybody's... Oh, hello! I'm sorry, but I can't read Russian, but thank you for joining the chat. Hello! Thank you for joining! I was just about to wrap up stream just because I was worried that nobody would come and say hello, but hi! Hello there! I hope you're having a good day wherever you are, or a nice evening or morning or whatever it might be. I don't think you missed anything too terribly important besides my little rant that I went on and the little story time that I had. Oh. Well, thank you for joining anyway. I really appreciate it. No, no, it's okay. You're not required for any reason, and English is hard. It's okay. I just appreciate you saying hi. Maybe I can. Hold on. Hold on. Give me just a moment. I want to try my best anyway. Oh, hold on, wrong one. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm just using a translator, but I just wanted to welcome you since you're here. Okay, we're both using translators. That's okay. Oh, hold on, I gotta readjust again. Oh. The chair that I'm using is really not that great. So, I need to be able to buy a new chair at some point. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I almost got eaten by ticks while I was picking apple. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, ticks are no joke. I mean, I'm very glad that you were not eaten up by the ticks. But yeah, ticks are no joke. You know, I am surprised by the amount of Russian speakers that I've had in my chat, because it's not only you. I know there's at least, I believe 2 other people I've seen. I know there's one for certain because he shows up every now and again and he also speaks English. But I'm surprised that, you know, I have even any following with with people who speak Russian. Maybe it would do me some good to learn it, but I don't know. I don't I can't guarantee that I'd be any good at it. I'd like to think that I would enjoy it because it is a language that's very interesting to me and that I think I would enjoy, but I don't know. I already have so many languages that I already want to learn, like on my docket that I really want to learn, and I don't know when I would have the time to learn Russian, but a little more in there will be good. I hope I'm saying all of these different things correctly. I'm doing my best anyway. Oh goodness, you definitely are an early riser then. I always sleep in pretty late compared to you then. Ah, okay, I understand. There's only been so many occasions where I've had to wake up that early, but I don't think there's ever been an occasion where I've went to bed at 4 a.m. I think the latest that I can go to is like maybe 3 if I have too much caffeine like during the evenings, but I don't think I've ever made it to 4. I think only once I've done like an all-nighter, but I don't know, like it wasn't because of like caffeine or anything. It was just because like I couldn't sleep for whatever reason, and I was working on something. I remember I was working on something during that time that kind of caused me to pull an all-nighter, and I was hanging out with my brother the whole time, but I don't remember, or I can't recall a time where I've ever stayed up until 4 a.m. Because normally once it hits like the 2 a.m., 3 a.m. mark, then I'm out. I can't imagine staying up that late. That's okay, as long as you're not obligated to get up at like a certain time, then I think it's fine. What should I... Sometimes I take my guitar with me to the field at 4 in the morning. That sounds really lovely, actually. Yeah, I would love to learn how to play guitar at some point. I don't know when or if I'll ever have the time. I could make that one of our stream activities, learning guitar whenever I get one, but I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon. It's a rare sight to meet some moron who I'm a little tempted to like try and pronounce whatever I'm trying to translate into Russian, but I have a feeling that I will absolutely butcher it. Like that message I just sent. Zato zvučit veselo? I don't know if I said that right at all. Goodness gracious. I need some water. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know if I have any skill in pronouncing Russian words. Oh goodness, I forget the name of the other person who comes and says hello sometimes, because I know he lives in what's it? Yugoslavia, I believe. He lives in Yugoslavia. And he always translates his messages too. But he said I pronounced one word okay, but I don't remember it because it's it's already been a while since I've Zatsu streamed, let alone like trying to remember what exact word I pronounced correctly or incorrectly in a different language that I don't speak. Thyme, oregano, St. John's wort is Ivan tea. Oh, so like mixing all of those things creates Ivan tea? I don't think I'm very familiar with what St. John's wort is. I've heard the name of it before, but I don't know what properties it has. Let me Google that. Now I'm interested. Oh, hold on. My mom is texting me in the background. I don't know how it is in America, but in Russia, many people do it. Why buy something when you can do it yourself? That's a fair point, yeah. A lot of things are just very easily available, like in stores here, but if you have the stuff for it, I mean, I do really like having a garden. My mom keeps a garden and we're able to get a lot of fresh herbs and fresh produce instead of having to, you know, rely on buying it every time that we do groceries. So that is like really, really nice to have. I totally get the vibe. Plus, it's nice to be self-sustaining in that way, and like not having to rely on buying different ingredients, or even in this case, like prepackaged tea, whatever it might be. It's just nice to be able to have the stuff for it and make it yourself if you have it. Every Russian living in a private house has a vegetable... Oh, garden. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to pronounce this, but I'm going to try to. Nie dwadzieścia sad to zamечательная вещь. I probably didn't say that right at all. See, there is one person I know who is taking a college course and knows how to read and speak Russian, but I'm guessing it's still at a very low level in comparison to like a native speaker. We grow all fruits and vegetables there: potatoes, cabbage, carrots, beets, radishes, pumpkins, tomatoes, cucumbers. That sounds so lovely. I want to be able to do that one day, just to like have my own slice of that, because it just does sound so lovely. Sorry, I read a tweet in the background from Vox. It is he's coming home from his trip and he they just had the Niji Sanji, what was it? It was called the Koumorian, and it was like the little baseball thing that they were playing. You probably imagine a flower garden where flowers grow, but not vegetables. Well, I do know, like, we have a couple flower beds, but for the most part, we also grow vegetables. U nas także jest ogród, to очень хорошо. I hope I said that right. I'm saying that after every time that I have to pronounce it. I'm doing my best. Oh, did I use the right words? Ochen korosho? Having a vegetable garden may be good, but it needs a lot of watering. I'm tired of watering it every day. Trust me, my mom feels the same way. Every morning my mom goes out to water her vegetables, so I totally get it. Oh. Sorry, again, my mom is texting me in the background. And every day to collect cherry and apples. Ooh. Vishni moi lubimnie. Hope I said that right. Cherries are my favorite. I love cherries. The only other fruit that I love more than cherries are persimmons, but persimmons are really difficult to come by, at least where I'm at. So cherries are something that's a lot more easily accessible. So when it comes to like fruit that's easily accessible, cherries are my favorite. I guess that would be grouped in like fruits like apples and grapes and bananas and stuff like that. Cherries are my favorite. But when it comes to exotic fruit, persimmon is my favorite, and then probably like lychee and rambutan and pineapple, if pineapple counts. Like honey mangoes. I like tropical fruit more than anything else, but I do really like cherries. I love cherries that are paired with like desserts. Like if you make a cherry pie, or like I always really love chocolate and cherries. When it comes to any fruit combo, I think chocolate works best with cherries. I also really like when chocolate is paired with oranges and strawberries. I don't know what other fruit you really pair with chocolate, but like those chocolate oranges that you can buy, the ones with like the slices in them, and you smash it and then you have like the little slices, and they just have like a little bit of not orange extract, because extract is like a water based thing, but orange oil, I guess you mix it with like orange infused oil. That's really good. I really love that. But if we're talking about like actual pieces of fruit, I prefer cherries. I really like the texture of stone fruit, so stuff like cherries and peaches and nectarines and stuff. I like the texture of cherries a lot more than I like the texture of strawberries. Strawberries can sometimes be a little too like mushy and watery, but cherries tend to, you know, have a little bit more like structural integrity, I suppose. My best friend is also texting me in the background. I'll visit her already, collect it every day for several hours, then sort it out and roll it into jars. I'm already sick of picking cherries. We have a lot of them. I wish you could send some of them my way, because I will definitely eat them. But as we say, one day feeds a year, but we'll have food for the winter. That's good. I know it's already like almost fall. It's starting to transition a little bit into fall here anyway. I'm surprised that it's already dipped down, like, temperature-wise here, because I was still expecting it to be really hot for, like, a whole other month. But we're in the bearable temperatures now. Before it was, like, 80, 90, pushing 100 every couple of days, and it was completely unbearable in this house, especially considering that, like, the houses in this area are built to hold in heat because of the winters being as like strong as they are. But thankfully things are starting to cool down a little bit. It was just a little unexpected that it would be this early, but you know, weather stuff is weird right now anyway, especially considering like global warming and just dramatic climate changes that are going on. So it's it's a little hard to like try and pinpoint like different weather changes, when they're gonna happen, stuff like that. Excuse me. Our winters are cold and long. I remember when I was still at school in the 8th grade, I was walking home 3 kilometers in negative. Oh my god. Wait. How cold is that in Fahrenheit? I need to know. Oh, not that. Celsius to Fahrenheit, please. That's so cold! Oh my god! Jeez. Oh, this one I should be able to say. Kakaya sechas temperatura. Temperatura? Hold on. Yeah. Right now, here, it's... It's like... That's how much it is for me right now. In Celsius. Excuse me. Also, I apologize if you guys can hear any of the noise that's happening outside. I don't know why, but we have this one neighbor who seems to always be wanting to do yard work at any given amount of time. So, if you hear little noises in the background whenever I start talking, you might hear it in the background. I don't know how good the noise gate is on that I have in my settings, but you know, doing my best anyway. Ooh, how much is that? Oh, okay, that's not so bad. It's definitely a lot cooler than it is here, but it's not bad. I guess for Russian summer, it's pretty warm. But that feels like ideal temperature for me. I like it when it's like 50s, 60s. Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. I don't know about you in America, but we have a lot of snow falling in Russia in winter. I remember having to clean the snow every 2 days for several hours. Я получаю изрядное количество свободы в моем районе, но не так много, как вы вероятно. I'm doing my best with the pronunciation. I'm okay with pronouncing Japanese when it's romanized, but I don't... Oh, I didn't even spell the one word right. I'm sorry. Here, let me try that again. Let me try that again. Yunas yesneg nonetak nogo kakuvas. I hope I said it correctly that time. I only realized halfway through sending the last one that I did not I didn't spell snow right, so it didn't show up right. This cough still hasn't entirely gone away, and it's still annoying me a fair amount, but I feel like it's not enough of a cough to justify, like, using cough drops. So I end up not using any cough drops. Okay, you understood that one. Good. Good. I just realized I spelled the one word wrong, so then it didn't show up correctly, and but I'm glad that it worked this time and that you could understand this time. Good. Can I ask you something? How do you have any shortage of goods or petroleum products due to the war? Well, at least to my knowledge, I know when I was still working in retail, we did have a lot of shortages going on, but for the most part, they would always say that the shortages were due to, like reduced labor and not necessarily because of importing or exporting of goods. Let me figure out how to write that. Ludi govorili cho eto nikvatka rebolshe sili ane problemis importam ili exportam. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm able to communicate that point okay. It's a little easier for me to explain it in English, obviously, in like spoken word than it is for me to like obviously using like Google Translate. But I'm glad you kind of understand what I mean anyway. It's not really the easiest thing to explain either. Ja zakończył tematu translację spasibo co pisoyen deniliskomnie. I really did not say that one right at all. I'm sorry. I tried pronouncing that as good as I could, but I'm really sorry. But thank you so much for joining me today. I know it was really quiet today and there wasn't really anybody else here, but I really appreciate that you took the time out of your evening to come spend time with me. I do really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So I hope you have a good rest of your evening, or I guess the start of your day, since you were mentioning you were gonna start your day soon. But I do really appreciate that you were here. It does really mean a lot to me. And that was really fun! I always like being able to connect with you guys whenever I can. And just, even if I don't fully understand, I'm doing my best to like translate and explain. But I'm glad that we at least had some level of communication and that we were kind of figuring it out at the very least. Doing our best to anyway. Oh, how do I... No, I can't. Okay, never mind. But thank you for joining me today. It was really, really nice getting to meet you. For anyone else, I will be posting my schedule probably a little bit later tonight, probably after I finish everything that I need to get done for the day. And I will be posting that on my Twitter. I do want to test run a couple other games that I haven't been able to, but I just want to give some more variety to some of the games that I've been playing lately, so we'll see whether or not I'll be able to do those things. I can't make any promises, but you probably didn't expect to meet. I didn't expect it, but I did enjoy it. It was still really nice to meet you, though. Here, hold on, one last message. Bilo приятно с тобой встретиться. Большое спасибо. And thank you everybody else for maybe watching this later whenever you have the time. And I will make up the schedule as soon as I can. It will probably be the same thing that I have been doing, Tuesday, Thursday, and either Saturday or Sunday, depending on my schedule. But I will see all of you guys later. Have a good one, you guys. Have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye.